Good evening, everybody. Welcome back once again to Rogues Gallery Live. Like I said, welcome to Rogues Gallery Live, guys. This is a very special show tonight. This is episode number 157. We have a stacked crew here tonight. I want to welcome everybody to the show. First and foremost, we've got this guy in the center square. We've got Mr. Chad Colebank from Tweeterhead. How's it going, sir?
Good, thank you. How are you guys?
Good.
Doing all right. Welcome to the show. We also have Mr. Matt Martin right over here, top square.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing?
Representing the Bat Vault tonight. Thank you very much.
Yeah, ready for the reveal. I'm curious
That's right.
to hear about it.
That's right. We got Eric B from All Things Art. How's it going, sir?
Doing good. Good to see a full panel tonight.
Absolutely. Want to again congratulate you on the big milestone on your channel. So congratulations to you.
Thank
you. Exciting. We have the Secret Sanctuary man himself right here, Mr. Jeff Delaney in the house.
Hey, how's everybody doing? I'm very excited tonight. I want to hear this news. It's going to be great.
Absolutely. We're always excited to have any sort of news. So this is going to be a lot of fun tonight. We also have Mr. Billy Rios joining us tonight from the East Coast.
East Coast. What's going on, everybody? Looking forward to some big news.
All right. And then we also have Mr. JWR in the house. How's it going, sir?
I'm good. Excited to see what Chad's going to reveal tonight, and just a big fan of Tweeterhead, so let's go.
Absolutely, and I want to welcome everybody in the chat as well. Thank you, everybody. We already have 60 people tuning in tonight. I'm sure that will grow as the evening goes on. And if you have any questions for Chad's going to be here for a while. This is going to be kind of a shortened show. It's just going to be talking about the Tweeterhead stuff. And then I did want to make a programming note. We're not going to actually have Rogues next week, which we were supposed to, but I have parent-teacher conferences, so I'm going to be unavailable to run the show. So we'll do it the following week after that. Okay, so just again, programming note up front. So yeah, tune in 2 weeks from tonight.
Get your priorities straight.
I know these darn parents. I tell you, I have to work late. But anyway, again, welcome to the show, everybody. Big announcement today. Obviously, we had kind of the reveal of a brand new Catwoman. Of course, we've seen her teased for some time now. And so, Chad, what do you want to tell us about the Catwoman? I got some exclusive photos to share with you guys tonight.
Nice.
So
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. No, you know what? I can't believe it's finally out. You guys can finally see it.
Awesome.
It has been like so long in the making because she's my favorite character, and with Catwoman, and there's a lot more Catwoman from us, but this one I absolutely love it. I hope everybody does.
Well, it's a beautiful Catwoman, and these are the first images that we got of her. Really great pose. You have that really slick, sleek black costume. Just that wet paint look, which looks absolutely fantastic. And then this is going to be available, as you announced maybe a week or so ago, that this is going to be available in 6 scale at tweeterhead.com, and then also available in quarter scale through Sideshow. So tell us a little bit about that.
And also 6 scale. So we'll have the exclusive that comes with the 3 different heads. Sideshow will have the regular edition in 6 scale that just comes with, the mask and then the goggles over the eyes. And then the quarter scale, they'll have the quarter scale as well.
And with the quarter scale, do you get all 3 portraits on the quarter scale or just the 2?
Just the 2.
Just the 2.
That third portrait is only on tweeterhead.com.
And that's the one with the goggles up.
The goggles up, yeah.
Yeah, the goggles
Which,
up,
I don't know. I mean, Chris, we've talked about it, but I don't know. My favorite are those goggles over the eyes because you see her so often, like with goggles up, etc. But, the goggles on the eyes, like, she's ready to get to work,
Yeah, that's how I like her. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. And the more I see these images, I think that's turned into my favorite as well. But again, the portrait is beautiful. The eyes are beautiful. Just a very, very nice looking piece for sure. And some people are already, I've heard lots of comments already saying that this is their favorite Catwoman. This is the one that they're going to order. This is the one that they want. And it's really exciting knowing that you can get it in either scale. If you're a 6-scale collector, it's going to fit in great with your 6-scale collection. And of course, again, you can get the exclusive portrait at tweeterhead.com, which is very exciting. And when does that go up for pre-order? I believe this week.
Tomorrow at 9:00, 9:00 in the morning. If you signed up, if you RSVP, on our newsletter, on our Facebook page, you might get a little bit of a heads up tomorrow. But 9:00, it'll be up. It'll be up at 9:00 inside. Open face portrait. I love that too. It's like that little kind of widow's peak to the mask.
Yeah.
I love it too. I think they're all absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Of course I love it, but I love it, love it, love it.
Absolutely. And again, you can get that exclusive portrait at tweeterhead.com tomorrow. I was going to say, well, we're getting into that here in just a second, but I did want to say, is the other versions also going up on Sideshow tomorrow as well?
Yep. Yeah. Everything will be tomorrow at 9:00 is, Catwoman hour. Everything is up, ready to order.
Well, you mentioned we've got Batman, and these are designed to go together. And look how good that looks. It absolutely looks just absolutely fantastic. Just how great these look together. And again, what's the plan here for these? And got any news for us on this particular piece, Chad?
Yeah, sure. It's so. Look, I would love to say, oh, yeah, we just sat back and figured this out and it all came to us like boom, boom, boom. But obviously that Batman, we worked really hard on. We wanted to make it, a really stunning piece. And then when we started working on Catwoman, it's like, well, obviously they should work together. And so now, I told you guys honestly, too, I told you a couple weeks ago, I love that picture, by the way. That is an amazing picture.
Yes.
But I told you guys a couple of weeks ago, with the DC fans, like I felt a little lost. Like I wasn't sure what to do, where to go. I told you guys about Deathstroke coming out. And when we started working on these guys together, even as a ZBrush file and putting them together and spinning them around, it was like, this could be like a really cool, like, 10 character diorama, right? Like, good guys, bad guys. So we are steamrolling into this, Gotham diorama, and we've got two pieces lined up already, and then of course Deathstroke will be part of it. Bane, I'm sure. Joker. I don't know what other villains. Harley, but at the end of the day, this is going to be a really cohesive piece that you can display like everywhere. Like it's going to be amazing. I'm so stoked about this.
Well, knowing that, you can't obviously display them individually, but having them all together, it's going to create such a great story, and it's going to, replicate that great, all those great shots of the heroes together on top of the rooftops. It's like with the, smoke billowing in the background in Gotham City. That's what you've captured here. And again, just I like that picture too.
I love that picture. And I think the other cool thing too is now, adding characters to this, adding characters to the opposite side, like who are they looking at, right? What in the heck is going on? Like, who are they looking at? Because they are all going to be looking at this specific scene going on. It really reminds me of like the Jim Lee Hush, that poster where they're like all on the roof together,
Yes, exactly.
But also the coolest thing about this is like the picture you have right now. Like we can take that and be like, look, so who else is going to be in that? What height are they going to be? Is there like a chimney with smoke coming out? Like this could turn into like a really beautiful, I was going to turn into a really beautiful scene, whether you collect all of them or a couple. The idea is that, if you just want to buy 2 or 3, they're all still going to work together. Like if you were done at this point, you're fine. But, there are going to be other ones that, help build the set out.
Well, and I think there's definitely some characters that haven't been done much that I think you would like to tackle at some point, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah. Was that a
like
leading question?
Maybe. I don't know. Like, you could take it for what it is, I don't know if you want to reveal anything tonight or not.
Yeah. Oh no, we got a big reveal coming, so we'll save it. But no, I mean, your favorite Batman characters are coming. They are. It's like, you know, easily we could put 4 more characters in there without a single issue,
Yeah.
and that's just on like the hero side.
Well, it's just so much fun because, like, I've been doing that for, at least in my old setup. I had that big collection of Sideshow premium formats where I was trying to, like, put them all together to create this big scene of Batman surrounded by the villains. And you're creating that for us. That's what's really exciting, is knowing that there's going to be a hero side and maybe a villain side. And, they just all work together and fit because, it's not always easy to try to fit these together because a lot of times, like, the bases are so big and things like that. So, you have to kind of hodgepodge the way you put your display together, which I love about this idea is that, they're all designed to fit together, and be that big display. So I think you're definitely onto something. I think it's going to be really exciting stuff for sure. But I mean, just look how good that looks.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. I mean, you guys can start throwing names out if you want. I mean, I know I can tell you 4 that I would plop right in there right now if I could.
Oh, what about you guys? Like,
Any
which characters
guesses?
would you like to see?
Nightwing,
Red Hood, Batgirl.
Yeah.
We're not doing any of
Damian
those.
Wayne Robin.
Oh, Damian. Yeah, Damian would be fun.
Yeah.
I was excited when you said there's going to be an opposite villain side on the other rooftop. Or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's something where, like, we're gonna have to start to, like, focus on the villains a little bit more because the thing I love about that photo, both of them that Chris pulled up, it's like there's definitely some determination there. Like the other one, I think a little bit more so with the way they're posed, but there's definitely something going on over there.
Do you think you would ever do a Hush, or you feel like that wouldn't sell? Like an actual Hush character, like the Hush villain?
You know what? I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I all say never, but I mean, isn't that Red Hood also, or no?
No, it's was it like Thomas?
Yeah, it was.
Wayne,
it was. Yeah.
It's his brother.
It's Tommy Elliott. Tommy Elliott.
Surgery, and then his brother came back after him. Something like that.
Yeah, Tommy Elliott.
Yeah.
Had the bandages
I know
on
exactly who you mean. I don't know. There's something to be said for companies that haven't made certain characters, and sometimes we look at that to be like, maybe that's why you haven't seen one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. FBJ says, love how these 2 pieces lined up. Let's see, Tim Drake Robin. Justin Racklin says Tim Drake Robin. Batwoman. We got a vote for Batwoman here. 90s style Tim Drake. Just to be clear, he says. Theodore says he loves the Lion Gargoyle on the Catwoman base.
Yeah.
Matt T says would love to see a Batwoman. Been a long time since Sideshow did her. That's another popular character. It would be a real nice pop of red.
That was successful for Sideshow too when that came out.
It was.
Yeah.
And I would imagine, like, you could keep going forever. Like, you could keep, expanding out.
Well,
but I would imagine.
You could keep going and going and going. I mean, it's.
I got.
He's like,
the more dramatic, the better, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What about Mr. Gordon?
Yeah.
Gordon.
In a perfect world, Chad, when do you think? I know factories and things go wrong and everything. When do you think she would ship?
Catwoman, we've got a super, super tight timeline on her for a couple of different reasons. So we are doing our best to get her on her way here before Chinese New Year, which is I think the end of February.
Wow, that's quick.
So super turnaround time. That would be incredible.
Yeah. So we're definitely trying to ramp that up, but specifically for her and some of the other stuff we're doing, which we'll get to in a minute. We're going to try to do a really nice get these into your hands sooner than later.
Cool deal. That's
Chad, have you put out the edition size yet?
So Catwoman exclusive that I'm selling direct is 300 pieces. The other 2 are open editions, but we'll probably announce an edition size in a couple of weeks because historically in the first week you kind of know where you're going.
Do you have a price point for the 6 scale through Tweeterhead? I know you offer the $25 off if people order ahead of time.
Yeah, $4.95 with $25 off if you pay in advance.
Nice.
Oh, cool. That's good.
Say it's always a great deal at Tweeterhead whenever you pay in full, guys, because you get that great discount. It really does help. It really makes a big difference, I think. But again, knowing that this is going to be this really cool diorama, and again, I love the idea of the opposing villains on the other side. I think that's really what helps sell it for me even more. Is that just like you said, like they're fighting somebody over there. They're definitely looking at someone, and I love the idea of them kind of facing off together. And there is no question that these look absolutely fantastic together. And speaking of these pieces, is there anything you would like to maybe announce tonight, Chad, that the people don't know yet about this particular setup here?
I could, but I think I will let you do that because I know you're pretty excited about this. So I'm going to let you have the honors.
Okay, well, I'm very excited, not only through Chad, but also I want to thank Sideshow for letting us talk about this tonight. But this Batman right here, guys, is also going to be available for sale at quarter scale as well to match the Catwoman. So we're going to have a quarter scale Batman. Yeah, tomorrow we have a quarter scale Batman, quarter scale Wonder Woman. So whether you are whether you're six, what did I say? Would I say Catwoman?
Wonder Woman.
Oh, Wonder Woman. Good Lord.
It's okay.
Please. It's been a long day. This is Catwoman, not Wonder Woman.
One has a whip, one has a lasso.
Yeah, that's right.
Whenever I hear quarter scale Wonder Woman, I have PTSD. So please,
I bet you do.
Please.
But yes, definitely a quarter scale Catwoman. So again, if you're a quarter scale collector, great news. If you're a 6 scale collector, it's great news. And again, I'm just so excited because I know there's so many people that love, one scale or the other, and to be able to offer them both ahead of time. I also love that you are being really forthcoming about, like early on in these ordering processes, because people complain if it's like 3 years down the road and then you say, oh, now we're going to do the quarter scale again. Mm-hmm. So I think it's really awesome that you're giving everybody the heads up. And it's just really exciting to have another quarter scale piece. And of course, if you're a 6 scale collector, I know there's so many people we talk about quarter scale and they're like, what about us, the 6 scale collectors? Yeah. And you're going to have equal opportunity to collect this line. So that's very exciting indeed. So did you want to say anything about the quarter scale Batman?
There's not much to say except it's a quarter scale version of that Batman, but it is super impressive. I know we had some issues back and forth with people with the Two-Face, quarter scale. And so we will remedy any issues with this Batman Catwoman. Like there won't be any issues if people think they're a little bit too small, blah, blah, blah. But no, he's going to be incredibly impressive in quarter scale. I mean, the guy that works for Tweeterhead and makes the labels was sending something to Chris, a little surprise.
Surprise.
It's hard to find good help, as you know. And so he screwed the label up royally. So Chris's big surprise for tonight didn't arrive.
Yeah, there was going to be something sitting here. So I've got my Ryan Brown Joker commission back here instead. But very soon here on the channel, there's going to be another big surprise for you guys to be able to see something for the first time. And again, want to thank Chad for that.
To rewind a little bit. So now you said you're doing these pieces that kind of go together. Is that only going to be for the 1/6, or are we going to possibly see like all of the 1/4 fitting together as well?
I think it's going to be across the board. It's going to be all of them. I think like Chris said, some people are like, hey, what about us? Like you can't really pull the rug out, when you get to like, the third, fourth character and you're like, hey, guess what? It's not going to be quarter scale. So I think, it's going to be a little bit of finessing, but every time I'm on this show, I say how much I love Sideshow. I love everybody that works there. They are fantastic to me. And, we wouldn't have a quarter scale Catwoman, quarter scale Batman if it wasn't for them. So, no one wants to not satisfy the customers, so I think we can count on it for the most part.
And of course, we've talked about it before that some of it might be just some timing. Like you mentioned, maybe doing a Joker and a Bane. Well, if Sideshow's doing a Joker, then they probably wouldn't want to release your Joker at the same time. So maybe that piece would be pushed back a little bit, still knowing it's going to come down the road. But then if they're not doing a Bane at the time, then that maybe you go do Bane first or something like that. So
and I think what we'll start to do is eventually we'll show some concept art. The third piece is maybe 40% done already. So we'll start to show some stuff, but really this is when we start to world build, if you will, and figure out these other 4 characters. Are there 6, 8 characters? Is Man-Bat part of this thing? Is that what they're looking at him in the air? I mean, who the heck knows at this point? But now 5 heroes and 10 villains. Maybe it's like Battle Royale, right?
Ooh.
I'm in. That sounds amazing. I mean,
You said Man-Bat, so yeah, Man-Bat would be awesome.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
You're
yeah, exactly.
Big, no, and I gotta surprise. Say, I love that. I love that Batman, but I love that Batman. But just seeing Catwoman with him, it's like, for me, the nostalgia, is it's just there, man. They look so good together.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it brings the whole piece to life, really, because again, I mean, I think to me, I love the Bat and the Cat together. Like that's my favorite duo.
Yep.
I've never loved Robin with Batman. It's never been my favorite character, but I love Catwoman with Batman because it's such an interesting dynamic where they're always kind of fighting with each other, but they love each other and they're great at fighting crime. It's just an interesting dynamic. And, I just think that these two look absolutely fantastic together. And again, you could have them just like this, or if you want to add the rest of the family, you could do that as well over time, which is great. And I love too, I just want to say that, I love the direction you've taken Tweeterhead with the bus. Mm-hmm. But bus are not necessarily for everybody. And so I love that you're offering something different, something exciting, because I'm excited about the bus, but I'm also just as equally as excited about, thinking of this all together as a complete lineup like this. So I just want to thank you for that.
And
That's
I think,
awesome.
no, you're totally welcome. And, I know that there was a lot of chatter about, they're done with 6 scale, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, we had to kind of figure out what our footing was, and seeing these two together, really, it was like, okay, this is a really good direction to go in. Instead of just releasing another Joker, another one, now we can actually do something that's really cohesive, which is going to work together. Quarter scale, that was a big surprise. Like I said, Catwoman, anniversary next year, we're going to do a couple, really awesome versions of her. I think the DC fans will be excited because it's going to be kind of aggressive next year with the amount of DC stuff we're going to put out.
I really like that idea that they're all going to fit together, especially for a 1/6 collection, because you can definitely cram them together without taking up too much space, compared to quarter scale. Justin Racklin in the comments actually had a good question. Is the blue and gray going to be in quarter scale? Do you know?
That is not going to be just the sideshow version of black and gray.
Okay.
Okay, black and gray. So if you're getting the quarter scale, black and gray. Godlike statues, Jimmy G just mentioned too. The Clayface bust is going to be amazing. That's what I'm so excited about. Like I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am to add that to the collection. And again, it's going to be massive. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, absolutely awesome.
Oh, he's bigger than He's way bigger than Doomsday is. He's huge.
Wow! Oh my God, Doomsday was massive. That's insane.
It's going to be. It's a crazy piece. It's David he's the one leading this thing, and he loves. He's just like, can I do Killer Croc bust, Man-Bat bust, Clayface bust? And I'm like, sure, go for it. I'll handle the other stuff. But yeah, whenever I saw it next to Batman, it was just like, I mean, it's literally like that. He's a monster. And
that's the thing is until people see these in person, and I would assume we had somebody asking about the Superman bust. I think it's starting to ship right now, isn't it?
He's going to be on a container. So Batman and He-Man bust are on a container now. Superman's going to ship in a container with Skeletor Panther in a week, I think. So that's the other thing I was going to say is, we are about to love bomb our customers with products, so just get ready.
That's awesome.
it's like everything is done. We are just gonna get it here and just. I mean, before like October, November, we're gonna be so caught up. You'll see me dancing around here
The factory picture of that,
without any wine.
The factory picture of Batman was impressive. It looked like there was just like hundreds to thousands of them just like facing off against each other. It was insane.
Yeah. When they send me those little updates, it's so cool. It's it just there's so many, and the way they line them up, and as you guys know, like they put them together. They put little masking tape, number one, number one, number one, number one, just so everything is like its own. It's and I know we've talked about this. I talked to Chris about it, but it's like I think it'd be so cool. Like again, like let's make a piece from beginning to end, show you guys how we do it, but then let's like take a tour of the factory. I mean, it's cool,
Well, and it really, it's a whole new perspective when you see a shot like that and you see all these hundreds lined up, like first of all, the amount of work, and like people complain about how long it takes to get statues in sometimes, but like think how long it would take to paint all those and make sure they're quality control and they're really, all well done. And
they're all like, I mean, they're all basically identical, which is even a little bit more kind of amazing.
Yeah,
that you can like put them out. And I had a thing where I was gonna go to the factory a couple of years ago, and I remember I wanted to paint like 3 or 4 of them myself, and then ship them out to my customers and do like some kind of like golden ticket. Like if you get my sloppy, awful paint job one, we'll send you something really cool. And we didn't end up going, but I was so excited to go over and just sit there with them and try to paint it and just be like, dude, this is like an ugly Easter egg compared to yours.
You walk in the factory, like, did you ever see the episode of The Office with Michael Scott coming in doing the Willy Wonka ticket giveaway? And he like rolls and he's got the top hat and he puts the golden ticket, like whoever gets the golden ticket at the paper company gets a discount. Well, he put all the same tickets in the exact same company. It was their largest company.
Oh, no way.
And so they got like 75% off their order for like a year or something like that. It was crazy, but
oh my gosh,
it's a very funny episode. Got a question here for Ben Cave's asking about the Batman bust. Do we have an idea of when that might come? I would assume maybe you mentioned before, maybe Chinese New Year, possibly.
Yeah, before Chinese New Year for sure. I mean, it's there already. So, but again, like we just have to get a couple things through the pipeline, and then we'll, I think it's being cast at the moment. I'll get some updated pictures for that too.
That's awesome.
And then so Freeze is coming out for pre-order. Maybe a couple weeks, maybe like 3 weeks. Freeze will be up for the very beginning of October. He's looking so good.
Yes, he is.
Yep, so good. And then, you guys know we've got Riddler down the pipeline, Clayface, Grundy. We're working on Grundy right now. That was the fan choice.
Yep, right there.
Got to throw another fan poll up for next year. It's like there's like our 6 scale stuff, He-Man stuff, the bust, kind of like a little side, project. Those are going great. And then obviously, I can't talk about it now at all, but I think end of October, we might have like a really ginormous Tweeterhead announcement, which would be really cool.
I think it's bigger than ginormous, in my opinion. I think that this is going to change the game. I think it's going to excite so many people out there. So we're dipping our toes tonight.
It might. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, just if ginormous. What's bigger than ginormous? It would be. It's
big.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be very big.
It's really good. It's like I really feel like and I think you guys also have experienced this, like a little bit of a lull, in the world of collecting. But I really feel that like the pulse is coming back. I feel like people are coming back, and the excitement's coming back. And I think we just kind of had to have this, right? It's like every 5 or 6 years we go, and then just get back. So yeah, I'm super excited for next year. We've got some awesome stuff planned. And like, me, Catwoman, it's like to get to release 3 or 4 Catwoman a year is dream come true,
Well, and what I've seen of the bust, like it is so beautiful. Yeah. It's such a beautiful Catwoman.
Yeah. So then I think, so we had the retro, but then we have the, it's still the purple dress, but she's got this like just huge, hair, which it's just so beautiful. It's like, it's really hard to pick a favorite,
I just love
the
I love how that one, like, just the flow of that piece, like, it has such a beautiful flow to it. I love what you guys have created.
I was gonna say just the Two-Face, that you just shipped was really fun to see in the community because it felt like everybody received Two-Face like literally the same day. It was like I just got in Two-Face. It was just pictures of Two-Face everywhere. It was really cool to see in the community.
Yeah,
And people
question.
loved him too.
It's
like,
exciting for me. It's like, I know, and it's exciting for me because it's like and I think I've talked about this. Like for us to make a prototype and have this beautiful prototype like Catwoman, right? It's not super duper easy, but it also is something that we're really good at now. But once you give all that material to somebody to create this, hundreds and hundreds or thousands for you, like I have so much anxiety. I'm just waiting for people to get it. And the story that it was Christmas morning, I think 2 years ago or 3 years ago, when people I was away on vacation, grabbed my phone in the morning, and all these people were getting their Supermans. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Christmas morning, everyone's opening up their Superman. And there was overspray on every single belt of the Superman. And I was like, oh God, this is not Christmas Day for Chad or Tweeterhead.
You got the lump of coal in your stocking that day.
Yeah. But we fixed it. But yeah, whenever people started getting Two-Face and I started to see, what the pictures look like, what the paint apps look like, the same factory that did Two-Face also did the Merman variant. And, we work with amazing factories, amazing companies, but I think they knocked it out of the park. And I don't know if any of you guys got that Merman variant, but that thing is gorgeous, the green version.
It's great looking at, and we actually have a question about, is there any possibility that you guys might do a Beastman variant? Because I know you have done variants on your other ones. I'm guessing Igo would like to do something with that piece. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we can't do a variant of every other character and not do Beastman, like the number one henchman, right? So yeah, I think you'll probably see a Beastman variant at some point. But I will say one thing, like, the variant audience is smaller. So like, as you know, with Skeletor, it was like 75 pieces. Merman, I forget what we ended up with, but I think the variant numbers are going to get just a little bit smaller as we eke on, down the character line. I think you can count on that. And that sorceress, I got to tell you, man, when you guys see that sorceress, I mean, we're kind of hitting the end of the year with a bunch of rock stars, Catwoman, Batman quarter scale, sorceress, Skeletor did really well, the variants, but I'm super stoked.
I just want to again tip my hat because you're lucky enough from time to time you'll share some renders or something with me, and I'm like, everything I've seen has been awesome. Like everything that you have coming out, I'm completely stoked about, and it's a good time to be a Tweeterhead fan, that's for sure. And again, like getting Two-Face in, and he was just so awesome. I love it, and I think there was so much excitement too because again, you took a big risk by doing a character that no one else really has done, and it shows because people bought him, they loved him, and I think that they're excited to see what else you'll do in the future with these characters.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not giving anything away because it's like duh, but there is a Two-Face bust coming out sooner than later, and there's a big surprise with him that I think Chris, where we got to do something really cool with him that we haven't been able to in the past.
Well, really cool. And that's what I was going to ask you too, is like, I know, like we've talked about with the Tweeterhead, is like, there was some frustration on your part of not being able to do certain things. What does it mean to you now that Warner Brothers has kind of loosened their reins a little bit? Like as a producer, what does that mean to you at this point that maybe you can have a little bit more freedom now?
Yeah, and I understand it. Like, I'm not jonesing to put a gun in every character's hand. It's not my MO, and it's nothing that I've ever tried to do. But I definitely think that there are some characters that, just specifically have to have something, that is just, key to them. And so, yeah, with Two-Face, I'm pretty certain with the Two-Face bust, we're going to have a gun in his hand, which, it's just him, right? It's, flip that coin and it's curtains or not. But it's, I I like it. I think it's great. But again, I think as statue producers and creators, et cetera, we've got to be super responsible for, what you're putting out there. And is it necessary? Is it not? And just, do it in a responsible way. And then, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Def Meat says, if the Batman Gargoyle diorama set does well, I'd love to see a version of that be the Teen Titans together. So I think there's probably a lot of Teen Titans fans out there that might be interested in something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that set, the colors on that set would be so beautiful and so unique. It would be amazing.
It would be. Brad Anderson's asking, what's next in the MOTU classic line after Skeletor Panther? Is there any other plans to do something in that line?
Yeah. Do you want me to get a divorce from David Igo? Seriously. If I tell you that, my phone will be blowing up in like 5 minutes.
So you're saying there's something in the works?
Well, they've done a lot of characters. Right, which character haven't they done yet? You just got to figure it out.
Yeah, I'm not saying a word, brother.
I got a question. I got a question for you, Chad.
If anybody scares me, it's David.
Yeah, I got a question for you about Clayface. I know there's a lot of hype and excitement around him. Have you started playing around with the paint to see kind of which way you want to go with him?
No, we're still tweaking him a little bit, and then we'll print him out and start painting him. But it's kind of funny you ask that, because like everybody thinks it's just like brown, right? But there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with that guy.
Definitely so. Yep. Definitely so.
Because that was always the joke. I think even Igo one time, like 5 or 6 years ago, I asked him about Clayface, and he's like, who wants just a ball of mud? Like, it's not just a ball of mud. There's so much detail. There's so much texture. There's so many different colors on him. Like, he's going to look amazing.
I wanted to sell like a $500 little square of clay and just have it be like Clayface, and he's hiding as a box.
Did you see when you just made the hearts flew up on your screen? Did you see that? That was really great. Yeah, it's like, I don't know if heart, there we go.
Oh, it did. Oh my god, sorry.
That's too funny. Godlike Statue says that Mr. Freeze
my obsession with Taylor Swift. Sorry guys.
You're all right. Says Mr. Freed's bus needs a BSC portrait switch out, and he's referring to this right here, with my old Freeze. So I don't think that's probably going to be happening, guys.
That one. No, the only switch out we're going to do will be the Dan Default Robin statue when we do it, with him in his Robin costume from your calendar.
There you go. Oh no.
Would the bust ever have switch outs, or would they just always be like solid pieces? Like, for example, like Toothpaste, do you think you can get away with doing like a blue, half face for Toothpaste? Like
it would be cool if we could. It would be something I'd have to talk about with, we'd have to ask. But no, there are definitely switch outs. I mean, Catwoman's going to have two heads. There might be a Clayface switch out.
Oh, cool.
But I think going forward, there are some characters that, you can do multiple versions. And Catwoman's a perfect, example, because you've got that retro 1939 look, and then you've got like the 1980s, and it's basically the same except for the hair. But, like what Chris said, the hair changes everything about that piece.
It really does. And it's again, guys, it's gorgeous. You guys are going to love it when you have a chance to see it fully revealed. Bullseye's asking about maybe a John Constantine. Is that something that you would want to do possibly? I know it's been a popular character lately.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like right now, maybe not, because there are a few out there, and the one Sideshow just released is that's a beautiful piece,
Absolutely. Any possibilities of a light up in the bust? I would imagine that would probably increase the cost quite a bit to do a light up feature.
Yeah, you know what? It does. Well, I don't. Yeah, actually, honestly, it doesn't. I mean, it might increase it. I mean, a minimal amount. But for me, again, because I'm a small, 1, 2 man, 3 man show, my biggest fear is, everybody gets their busts and the lights don't work.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And then how do you even, and I've never been in this territory before, and I know Sideshow is amazing at this with their light up features, but it's like, for me, it's like, sometimes it's hard enough to just get stuff shipped out and, make everybody happy, let alone like, oh my God, none of the rims work. Okay, send them all back. Because, I mean, this is from years ago, but when my first Green Lantern was coming over from the factory, and Chris, I think we did a video or something, but that was when like the container ship was rocking at sea. and the containers were just falling off like
Yeah.
little pieces of puzzle pieces. And one of them was my container full of Green Lantern.
Ugh.
That could be a segment for one of your factory videos. The guy going around testing 100 different light up features for the.
Yeah.
Well, and I find that like I never have the light up features on. If I have one, I never have it on ever.
Why is that, Chris?
Everybody's afraid they're going to blow out, so nobody.
Yeah,
uses
that's
the
it.
light.
I think that is it. I think that's it.
Chris, I keep seeing you fretting about the tactical Batman. And you keep saying because I'll never turn it on. Like, just turn the damn thing on.
I know. I should.
No, this is what happens. So, companies put out light up features and then collectors never turn them on because if that light up breaks, now they feel like their statue is, devalued. It's not going to be worth as much money. So nobody ever uses the light up feature.
Yep.
Perfect
It's
example.
like
I don't know if you guys know this
catch-22,
guy. His name is Robert Olszewski, and he sculpted like Disneyland in miniatures. Did you guys see this?
Oh yes, I
Jeff, you probably
had
know
a
about
Haunted
this one,
Mansion.
right?
I had the Haunted Mansion one of his. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was like maybe 10 years ago. He did the Disneyland Castle, and this guy is brilliant.
And
Uh-oh.
Matt just said like a thumbs up. How'd you do that?
I don't know. Well,
So that only works if you're on a Mac camera or like an iPad. You have a StreamYard, like an actual camera, it won't pick it up. But on your MacBook or iPad, it will pick those up.
I think Chad's light up feature just stopped working.
well, now we got to move you to the right square because you got screwed up. So let's move you back where you're supposed to go.
His electronics broke.
I was gonna say sometimes he has some battery issues, so we'll see if we can get him back. Sarah says the Batgirl versus Clayface is gonna have a light up base, and now I'm scared to turn it on when I get it. All right, he just texted me he's coming back, so give him just a second here. But like, I like with the light up. Go ahead, Jeff. I'm sorry.
Show Mark 7. I had that thing lit up all the time, and it never failed. And I sold it to someone else, and they're still enjoying it.
I mean, usually you're supposed to get like 50,000 hours. I think I've usually.
Sorry, you guys there?
We're here.
Yeah, we're here.
Welcome back.
Sorry about that. So what I was saying about that Robert Olszewski, the guy is amazing. And so he did like the castle, the Disneyland castle, and it had like the little street lights out front, little street lights in the back, and then the interior lit up. Then he had like little lights under where the water is, and it made the castle blue and purple and everything. And so I used to have that thing on all the time. And just, I think maybe 6 months ago, the purple lights died. And it's one of those things where it's like just what you said, Chris, like I will never turn those on, any of those lights again,
Yeah, because you just like it does feel kind of like it's ruined at that point. It's like, I don't know. Like I understand. I think like the lighting can really add a lot. Like even like the sideshow Dark Knight Returns on the lightning bolt, like that's really cool lit up. I mean, it's awesome. Great piece. But like I don't want it to burn out. Like I don't want it to, I don't know. I think Eric, you're exactly right. It's like for whatever reason it feels like it's not,
especially with that one, it shipped with some light up issues, so I'd definitely be more scared with that one.
Yeah,
I think if it was like easier, like if there was an easier way to replace it as a collector, and I don't know how you would do that. Like I have no idea, but if there was an easier way to be like, hey, if it burns out.
Well,
you gotta hit that freeze graphic.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Okay, now you're back. So you froze for a second there, Chad.
Uh-oh.
All right, you're back though, I think.
I think I am. I'll blink twice. Let's see.
Yeah. I don't know. You were right in the middle of saying something. I don't remember.
Oh God, what was it? It was probably about it was like I could never, like I looked at that little castle trying to replace the light bulbs and it's just impossible. And then where do you find them and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So
You were saying something if there was a way to make it so that you could actually like swap out the light up and fix it.
Oh yeah. If there was a way to make it easier to replace them, then maybe. But yeah, I agree. I would never turn those lights on again. And they're amazing because the way they like that, Chris, that Haunted Mansion is at the Walt Disney World or Disneyland?
I had the World one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But it had a light up feature too, and it like the back has those little scenes and stuff in it. So I just think those are a lot of fun. And like there's some people that have like the entire Main Street, like they have the entire Main Street with all the shops and then the castle at the end.
Well, that's base. He made that ginormous base, so you have the whole thing. And when it's lit up and the electric parade's on and the music is on, like,
Yeah,
amazing.
it's really neat. It's
Can
really
we talk
neat.
for 2 seconds about them ripping up Rivers of America in front of Haunted Mansion?
Oh man, I tell you, I think they've lost their mind. I just,
a fan.
I mean, the Rivers of America in Walt Disney World serves a very different purpose than Disneyland. Like if they ever did that at Disneyland, I think everybody would get their pitchforks out and like storm Burbank, and like it would just be awful. Yeah, Chad Colebank would be one of them. But it would be awful. And you know, it would.
Yeah,
but
me and Jeff
in Magic Kingdom, first of all, how can you have a Frontier and then a Liberty Square and then have animated talking cars in the middle of that? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You can't hide that. You can't hide it through, I mean, some sight lines maybe, but it also, people don't think about this, is it's a place to kind of relax and get away from the crowds. Yeah. Disney has slowly taken away all of the play areas for the kids. So like some kids just don't want to be in line all day. And so they're forcing everybody to be in line without those play areas, and they've gotten rid of most of them. But Tom Sawyer Island is that play area where you could still go and get away from the crowds. Also, the thing that they don't understand is Florida is awful. Like it is swampy all the time. And so that water acts as a natural coolant to that part of the park. And if you just make it concrete, it's going to be awful. It's going to be awful, I think.
Well, I think I remember a couple things. Oh, go ahead. You go.
Speaking of the play areas, I remember the Honey House front the kids play area. My kids loved that, you know, back in the day.
And it's gone.
And it's gone. With respect, yeah, it's gone. So yeah.
Yep.
I was going to say, like, a couple of points Chris made. One is there any way Disney World get rid of kids? Kidding. I'm totally kidding. But when you walk up into Liberty Square and you see that beautiful lagoon with the Haunted Mansion, I mean, it's so picturesque and beautiful. It's like, and what you said, Chris, too, it's like that's where you go to chill out. Like Liberty Square is the place to go and relax a little bit.
Yep.
So to get rid of that boat, I just saw that the other day and I was so bummed out. It was like, because it looks like you're looking at a real mansion across this beautiful river.
I mean, I would imagine they have the real estate to expand somewhere else, you know, further out into the woods, not in the middle of the park.
I think the main thing that they were trying to do is, I don't
understand why Cars Land is getting dropped in there.
Well, it should go at Hollywood Studios, if anywhere. It would just fit better there. They also announced that they're going to do a Villains Land, and I think the reason why they wanted to drop it there in the Rivers of America, it is a big area of real estate, but I think more than anything, what they wanted to do, if you've ever been to the Magic Kingdom, when you go over by Tiana's now, which used to be Splash Mountain, and go over to Big Thunder Railroad, it dead ends right there. And so what I think Disney was wanting to do was create the loop where you can actually go and walk completely around that without having to go all the way around. And from what I'm gathering is there's been some rumor and speculation that if you go around the corner from the Haunted Mansion, that there was heavy rumor that there could be a Haunted Mansion restaurant, which I think would do very, very well.
That would be cool.
And then extend back to the Villains Land that they're going to build eventually.
I was going to say, you guys, I was watching the Disney documentary on Walt Disney like a few months ago, and like Chris, you just said, the whole idea was it was made to be a loop. Like they used to have entrances, you know, like all over the place, and they were like, it's taken away from people visiting certain areas. We're going to keep one entrance in the front and make the park just a loop. It forces people to go all the way around and then walk around. So by filling in that middle area, you kind of lose that loop aspect of everything.
Eric, Chris, Superman says, wow, Chris has the whole map in his head. Eric, tell Superman how much Chris knows about Disney.
Chris knows about like the pennies buried in the floors and like all different stuff you would never even imagine that's in the park. So
I know way more about Disney parks than I do about Batman, which is saying something for sure.
But that's scary.
It is scary.
Yeah, but you know, Chris, the other thing, I don't know if you know this, and I think it might be gone now, but there was like all these Disney books when I was a kid, and there was one about like a little elf or troll or something, and he lived in a little house in a tree. And for the longest time, there was a tree.
It still does.
Oh, you know where that tree is?
It's at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? I thought it was Disney World.
Nope, it's at Disneyland, and it's near the treehouse.
It's Indiana Jones. Drop the entrance to Indiana Jones.
Oh, that's so cool. I've never seen it. I heard the story.
Yeah, if you walk up to Indiana Jones, on the right side is the tree. But what is he? He's not a troll. I don't know what he is. But
I don't know, like a gnome or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
like maybe a gnome. And you guys will appreciate this. I was driving down to Comic-Con this year. We didn't have a booth. I was just there as a spectator and just going to go hang out with some friends. And I was leaving LA early. And I was like, you know what? I want to get to San Diego, but I'm in no rush because I don't have any reason to get there so early. And I was just thinking, it was 6:45 in the morning. And I was like, I wonder if I could just like pull off and find somewhere cool to get a cup of coffee or whatever. And right in front of me, Disneyland Drive. Mm-hmm. So 6:45, pull over, ask the nice lady at the Disneyland hotel if I could park there for a couple minutes, walked around downtown Disney. Of course, the gift shop opened at 7, which was complete bad news. But there's just something and that early in the morning, there's something so magical about that place when there's just no one around. I think a lot of us here, we're just Disney nuts, you know?
Yep. I say I love the morning when no one's there, and I love dusk. That's my favorite time in the park is when the lights start coming on. And I love Disneyland, but it is pretty shocking about what's happening with Magic Kingdom. But there's been a lot of negative blowback, so I'm hoping that they listen, because Disney has not done very well PR wise in the last couple of years. They've definitely taken a big hit, and so I'm hoping that they reconsider that. I think that there's better places. And Magic Kingdom's got a lot of land. The problem, everybody always says that they have a lot of land, but it's not all suitable for building on. And that's the problem, because a lot of it's swamp land. A lot of it, they would have to bring in tons and tons of earth to get it to work. And so they are limited for sure of what they could do. But if anything, I just maybe build a 5th park. And I don't know if they ever will, but I think they absolutely could. Just even infrastructure wise, like a lot of people have said, there's a ton of land where the ESPN sports thing is, where they have the host the tournaments and stuff. That doesn't generate near as much money as a park would. And so I think if they took that space over that, they could fit like 2 Magic Kingdoms in that spot. And that would be a really cool, build a Cars Land there or whatever. But I get, Cars is a very popular franchise, and it sells very well merchandise wise, but it doesn't make any sense to put it right in the middle of Frontierland. I just don't understand. But neither did putting Tiana's Bayou, which is a mud hill, supposedly, and that's not in the Frontier either, so it doesn't make any sense and maybe that's what they're thinking, is that it's like, well, nothing makes sense anymore, so let's just put whatever we want wherever we want it.
Well, this might be a question for Jeff too, because I haven't been in Disneyland for a long time, but I hear they like ripped up the whole Haunted Mansion queue, right? Where you walk in the graveyard and everything.
Yeah, they're redoing it. They're making it. It's going to look really cool. I think it's a good thing.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good,
basically,
good. I'm like such a purist. I just don't want them to change any of the old things.
Well, the area where where you used to go get the fast pass tickets, when you used to go to the booth to get those, they're going to incorporate that area into the queue, and then they're also adding a big gift shop outside as you exit. There'll be a separate Haunted Mansion gift shop there, which I don't know if that means that the one over by Pirates will be all Pirates now. I would assume that because it's like half Haunted Mansion, half Pirates right now.
I don't know. I think there'll be any Tweeterhead gifts in there.
I was going to say that'd be pretty awesome. That'd be pretty awesome.
My dream list is hitchhiking ghost maquettes. You know that.
Oh, that'd be so cool. I'd buy one.
With light up features that nobody ever turns on.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. Well, good Lord.
Guys, we're at an hour almost. I got to run. I'm so sorry. But they're about to kick me out of my friend's winery where I do these little videos with you guys. But this was awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having us on, and thank you again for letting us tease some things tonight. And it's just an exciting time to be a Tweeterhead collector. Yep. And thank you again for coming on.
Yeah, no worries. And push that Catwoman and Batman quarter scale.
That's right. Yep. Absolutely. We'll keep talking about it. All right. Bye, Chad.
Right, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be canceling my 1/6 tonight.
You're gonna get a quarter scale.
Yep, quarter scale over 1/6 for me.
So again, if you're just joining us, the big news tonight was that they're going to do a quarter scale Catwoman at Sideshow, but then also Sideshow will be releasing the Batman in quarter scale as well. Again, knowing that Chad wants to do a big diorama, we speculated, of course, there's only so many Bat family people. So, we talked about Nightwing, we talked about Red Hood, Batgirl, maybe Batwoman. We'll see. But, thinking about, what do you guys think about the idea of all these together, kind of fitting together and making a big diorama?
It reminds me of that Finch print.
Yeah. There's because
it has all the heroes and all the villains. I keep looking at it, and I'm like, you got Croc, you got Clayface, you got Penguin, you got Freeze, you got Harley, Two-Face, Bane, Scarecrow on the villain side, and on the hero side, you have Batwoman, Batgirl, Damian Wayne Robin, Tim Drake Robin, Nightwing, Red Hood, Batgirl, Bat Signal, and then a few of the newer ones that they have. So there's a lot you could do with that. I would love to see a Commissioner Gordon on this one, though.
That is something I would love to see. Some sort of roof with a bat signal and smoke billowing off in the background. Like
Chad said, it reminds you of the Hush, that iconic Jim Lee Hush. But then when he said there's going to be a villain side, it reminded me like the Alex Ross type stuff where you just have like a villain line and then a hero's line on one side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you guys think of? What do you think of Catwoman in general? I mean,
just with the Batman, it's as someone who's been collecting statues for a long time, it always seemed like there was kind of like there was never that definitive quarter scale comic version Batman. You had the old school ones, but they were mixed media. That wasn't for everybody. Then there was the one with the chaps. Not everybody loved that one. They said he was too bulky. Some people did love him, but now there's even the Canale one that's just came out. It was met with, I like it, I don't. Now it's in black. This one kind of reminds me of, and I remember when Jeff did his review, the Daniel Bell bust, that he's in that pose, and everybody was like, "Wow, if only this had legs," because this is what we want. When I look at this piece, it almost makes me feel like we got the rest of that statue, kind of, So I just hope that like this can be that definitive Batman. I mean, this guy's ready to cancel his 1/6, like
canceling.
Yeah, like we finally have it, and he fits perfect with Catwoman. It actually reminds me of, like you said, that Finch cover. I was thinking more of this one. You guys can see that one?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Finch. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's very similar.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right.
I just love that they're planning out the different heights too, because again, trying to rearrange these things if they're all sold separately, but again, intentionally knowing that they're going to be like this, and you could imagine the other characters flanked on both sides at different heights. And I even like as Batman surrounded by his villains theme, like I could just get Batman and get all the villains around him too. Like you could do a lot of different things with these.
Right. But when you had that diorama in the old room, Chris, some of the ones in the back were on risers.
Yep.
And then some that had like the shorter bases, they were up front. So other pieces were, and me and Eric had a conversation about this last night, about just placement of certain pieces. These look like they're kind of coming where they'll just fit together, and so like maybe the Nightwing is a little bit higher, and that's the diorama. You don't have to put some on risers,
Yep.
I think they look awesome together.
It'll be interesting to see how that goes, because like if so for somebody that's collecting all of them and putting them all together, it makes sense. But then there might be somebody that just wants, say, like if he makes like, I don't know, Two-Face, and you want a Two-Face and he's higher up because it fits better on the diorama higher up in the air, but they don't have the diorama, they have it next to some other random statue. It might look weird. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays it out and lines them up all together.
I think it'd be real smart of Chad too to continue to tease with what it would look like render wise, like even if it was like just silhouettes or something of the other characters. And again, I know that some of it's timing, and again, especially knowing now that they're going to be doing quarter scale for these, he has to be very strategic about how he does it. So again, if Sideshow's doing a character, then he's not going to be able to do that same character in quarter scale at the same time. It just doesn't make good business sense. So
I think it's smart either way. So like, going back years, like we always collected statues and we always wanted the statues to look good next to the others. So I don't know if
Right.
companies really took that into consideration, when, modeling their statue, designing it, they kind of just made everything kind of like a one standoff piece. I don't know if anybody's ever really said like, hey, let's make sure all the statues look good, as like a whole together. So we're finally getting that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Sideshow ever did, because there'd be certain pieces that had like the black underbase, and then the rest of whatever, if it was a rock base or something like that. And that always kind of got me, that you couldn't really pair them up with like an XM because they didn't use that black underbase. So you, just like you said, I would try to cover it a little bit, because they just wouldn't flow right.
Thinking of Sideshow, like all right, sometimes they would pair the Joker with the Harley, like, hey, these two look good together. But like, yeah, they would all usually have like maybe like one on a riser or something. So like I said, again, it's gonna be interesting to see how Chad plays out. If he's gonna make some of the bases taller, or just say maybe you got to put it on a riser. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, and of course, the hard part is the longevity of this project. You have to, hopefully people are buying them, because again, the more people buy, the more likely that Chad's going to be able to do as many characters as we would like him to do. But again, if it's not selling well, then, they might move on to something else, which is that's just business. But I think, I think this Batman and Catwoman is going to sell very well for them. In both 6 scale, because there's a lot of 6 scale collectors. It's a better price point. I don't know what the quarter scale is going to be. Again, it sounds like we're going to find out tomorrow.
It sounds like you're kind of building your horizontal sanity if he does like
right. That's exactly right. I love the idea.
Yeah, I'm definitely ordering the 1/4 from Sideshow tomorrow. I'm definitely sold on it.
It was breaking news for me tonight. I didn't know that they were going to do the opposing villains. And so that makes me even more excited, knowing that we're going to get the villains to look across the way from them.
I don't have a comic Catwoman, so definitely the only Catwoman I have is the Salina Kyle Batpod, the 1/3 Batpod. So I'm gonna definitely. I love the pose. I love everything about it. So I'll be ordering it, tomorrow. So Jeff, do you have how many Catwomen do you have? Do you have like two or three?
Right now, I just have the Prime 1 Pfeiffer.
Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah.
Are you interested in this comic book one? Do you like that one?
Yeah, I like them. I like them both. So we'll see.
Yeah.
The negativity of the Sanctuary. I keep telling you, knock out a wall.
I know.
Put some stilts on the beach and just build out.
I know. Yeah.
I know.
So guys, the 1/4 Batman, Sideshow had to approve that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So do you think it's kind of like, well, they literally just put 2 1/4 Batmans out? You think probably because that piece was met with, they were like, okay, well, let's offer this then.
Yeah, I mean, they had very small edition sizes on the most recent one for both the regular and the variant. So they're probably already sold out or close to being sold out already. So why not put out another one that's probably going to sell better than either one of those?
What did he say? I think he said 350 on the Catwoman.
300 for the Sideshow exclusive.
Yep.
The regular will be to be determined, and he said he thinks the quarter scale will be to be determined.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah, exclusive of 300, the Tweeterhead version, and 495 is what he said for the 6 scale price point.
Decent size.
Yeah, not bad at all.
The Tweeterhead, this new Batman they're coming out with, in my opinion, is probably one of the best Batman we've seen since Detective 1000 or the Hush from Prime 1. Just in comic accuracy, the paint job, that utility belt. I mean, they nailed. That's what sold it for me, was the utility belt. I think they just nailed that from the comic books with the pouches and then the tubes and everything.
It's like Billy said. I mean, people have been so annoyed that they can't get Batman in an upright position with a sculpted cape, and this kind of delivers on all of that.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that Tweeterhead, like I said, is just really onto something with this. And again, they're finally delivering, because again, we've kind of had these hodgepodge pieces. It's not that they're bad pieces; they just don't always fit well together, or they're like a bizarro version of Batman or something, Well,
what originally happened was, so if we go back like a year or whatever it was, Tweeterhead put out that Batman, and then they ended up changing the pose slightly, and I think that's what got like the negative feedback. because like his foot was slightly off or whatever. But I don't know. I always thought it looked good. I never got the criticism on that piece.
I love the original. We saw it at San Diego Comic-Con, and I love that particular version. I like that he was a little thicker. But for whatever reason, they wanted to tweak it and change it. And this one's really grown on me. I was kind of still kind of irked about the first one. It's like, I really liked that first one because Al McCarr did a phenomenal job. But again, this one's really grown on me now, especially like I told Chad, it's like once you see him paired with another character, it's like, boom, he just kind of comes to life even more. Yeah. And again, I love the combination of Bat and Cat. Who knows if we'll ever get that one that Prime 1 teased with the Phantasm. I don't know if that'll ever. Yeah. And good Lord, he said what before the end of the year to have it shipped for Catwoman?
That Prime 1 was 2022.
Was it really?
It was November 2022, and when they teased that or revealed it. Really, they showed the whole statue.
So you're saying I need to quit holding my breath?
I've quit holding my breath with Prime 1 when it comes to DC completely.
Yeah. Well, again, just knowing that they really don't have any real confidence in DC at this time. I mean, that's just it doesn't bode well.
Yeah.
I think we're lucky
bringing out third scale pieces as quarter scale. That they're going to do that for a while, which is great.
Why not?
Yeah. But anything new? I don't know.
Didn't they announce a quarter scale Catwoman Batman Hush with them like
third
or something?
Third scale. Yeah. Well,
I think it was a quarter. The one that came straight from a Dimly print, right?
No, what you're thinking of there's a Clayman piece that is Clayman with Batman and Catwoman with Phantasm behind him.
Right.
That is what they teased. They did also tease a 1/3 scale Batman or Catwoman Hush as well. But and it was actually printed and everything. There was a photograph of it printed, but for whatever reason they haven't put it up for pre-order or shown her at all.
Kind of makes me scared about that Riddler.
Yeah. Again, I don't know. It's been kind of quiet, I feel like, from Prime. Obviously, I think that they still want to try to release, maybe 3-4 pieces a year, maybe. I mean, we still have like Tactical Throne. We've got Killer Croc versus Batman. We've got Batman Who Laughs versus Batman. Alfred. Again, they teased the Riddler. They teased that Dark Side on Throne. So there's a number of pieces that they have coming. The Bane on Throne, the Poison Ivy on Throne. They also teased the Joker and Harley on Throne that they did. So I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going to go on in the future with them, but I'm still, Tweeterhead stepping up here in the DC universe.
Moving forward, I'm more excited for Legendary Beast and Tweeterhead moving forward.
Yeah, that's the Phantasm piece.
Yeah,
they're just Phantasm
the whole piece.
Yep, that's the Phantasm. That's Clayman.
And this was supposed to be quarter scale.
Quarter scale.
Zooming in on your bust.
We totally never saw anything about that again.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's been 2 years, Jeff said.
Yeah.
But man, there's so much more I want to tell everybody, but I can't yet. Considering some of these characters that we're talking about tonight, but I feel like we're in really good hands with Tweeterhead. And also like the Legendary Beasts as well. They're putting out a lot of great DC stuff as well. So, they're definitely picking up the slack where I feel like some other people have kind of dropped off. Again, Sideshow with the Riddler. I still don't understand why we haven't seen that yet. There was so much hype.
One hasn't done it. Sideshow hasn't revealed the Riddler. Have they just lost confidence? Was there not enough excitement or buzz for either one of them?
I kept checking my phone to make sure it wasn't April 1st whenever they teased Riddler, but apparently it wasn't. So
that's only me.
I think the
one year I did fall for it. I saw Eric's post about the Riddler and I got really excited.
Gotcha.
And I saw the caption and I was like, I don't like Eric today.
I was going to say that Eric had a lot of enemies after that day he posted that. That's for sure.
I think the negative feedback.
I was building up hype.
That Prime 1 got from the small reveal of the Riddler. It could have changed their damn mind, you know what I'm saying? Because it sounds like, a lot of people had backlash for the direction it was going. So they could have, with respect, scrapped it or something like that. I don't know.
I feel like a frog is in here.
Yeah. Oh, it's something with his mic. Like if he gets too close, they're like burn. I don't know.
Ribbit.
Yeah, that's right. But we don't have the echo tonight, so we've definitely improved that. That's for sure.
That's good.
Anything else you guys want to talk about tonight? Again, I said it was going to be a short show. We don't have photos yet to look at, but we will be back in a couple weeks to do our regular show.
Excited about the clay face that he said. Now I'm worried and excited at the same time because I'm picturing now it's going to be like the size of Jeff's legendary beast Hulk, probably like just the bust of clay face.
I don't think it'll have. Again, I've seen some renders, and I don't think it's going to be as wide as Doomsday. I think it might just be bulkier than Doomsday. Because Doomsday was really wide with the arms out, and so I don't think you should worry too bad.
All right.
I think it'll fit in just real nice.
He said it was bigger than Doomsday. Like, oh.
I think just bulkier. I think I don't think it'll be quite as wide.
It's fine by me either way. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That's big.
Anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. This was a lot of fun. Again, support Tweeterhead tomorrow. Again, if you order directly from them, you get the $25 off if you pay in full. It's a great deal if you're a 6-scale collector. And you also get the exclusive portrait only through them, which is the goggles up version. And the quarter scale is going to just have the 2 portraits, goggles down, and the classic portrait. Support Sideshow too. And again, I want to thank Sideshow for letting me make that announcement today here on the channel. I want to thank Chad again for coming on, and we'll be back in a couple weeks for Rogues Gallery Live. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the Batcave. Thanks for watching.
Take care.